about U.S. presidents, partly, and this one is about the last one that we had until very So I dip this pen in arsenic to write a song for every president that won't ever get shot in the face. I wrap these strings in plastic explosives and head down to the courthouse. With one chord I level the place. So but hasn't anybody learned? Don't ever trust a man who plays guitar. The day I rob a bank's the first day I'm not lying to you or me about what I believe. If I die, then let my gravestone read, rest in P-Funk, cause no pulse is no excuse not to dance. If I live, then let my heart be like a beating picket line. I'd sooner see a corpse than see a scab. Oh, but hasn't anybody learned? The last to make the moves, they're the first to say the words. The day I rob a bank's the first day of my life as an honest man, an honest man. The day I rob a bank's the first day of my life as an honest man, an honest man. The day I go to jail trying to rob a bank's the day I finally get what I deserve. And the song's been written since the new guy took charge. I swear that someday I'll tell you without lying, I was born to quit smoking, I was born to quit dying. On that day, not doing heroin will seem easy as pissing. On that day, I'll stop talking so much shit about the government, cause urine speaks louder than words on a politician or on a prison warden. Urine speaks louder than words. Today, I was born to be living, I was born to be singing, I was born to be fighting. Will somebody say, is this resistance or a costume party? Either way, I think all black with bandanas is a boring theme. I don't gotta tell ya, crackers are great with amnesia when they wanna forget something like centuries of racism. They'll say, look at the man on center stage and pay no attention. Well, millions get locked in a cage and riots break out in Oakland. The urine speaks louder than words on a prison warden or on a BART policeman. Urine speaks louder than words. Small towns and growing up in them, and it's about a depressing. They still smell funny. Yeah, we smell weird everywhere. But yeah, this is about a particular conversation I had with someone who was growing up in Wisconsin, and it made me really sad. Well, there's a girl in Rhinelander who needs Kathleen Hanna because she doesn't think that girls can sing rock and roll. Sing rock and roll songs. Well, I don't think they got Bikini Kill records in small town Wisconsin record shops. But that's where they need them now more than ever. So if there's girls still growing up in this world to believe they can't sing rock and roll, I don't want to live in this world anymore. You know I don't want to live in this world anymore. here.
Okay.
Yeah, you play.
Play some Weezer.
Play some Weezer. I don't know. I could play a cover song by a cock rock band.
Yeah.
Poison. Because like it's a game. You know, people have to help me with it, otherwise it doesn't really work. But
Song.
well, it's a song based on a Mississippi John Hurt song.
Oh,
the idea of
play it.
The idea of it is that people help me make it up as we go along. But if people are ready to do that, then we should do it.
Do it.
It's kind of hard. All right, I'm gonna save that one until the end. I'll play a couple more songs, and we'll try that one out. All right, I'll play a song about being very shy, which I am a large portion of. Really? Yeah. Tonight I'm an alley cat, yeah. More afraid of you than you are of me. But if you leave some food out on the porch, I might stay till there's nothing left to eat. I'd be sitting alone at a lunch table in high school if I wasn't sitting alone at a punk show in Asheville. Hey, hey, hey. Tonight the upper left-hand side of my chest has a hole as big as the one in my pockets. I might have kissed you wearing a bulletproof vest, but hell, you kiss like a rocket. I'd be a teenage virgin, jerking off in my bedroom. If I wasn't a 20-year-old virgin that doesn't have a bedroom. Hey, hey, hey. Woo. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. People want to try This Ain't Nobody's Business jam? Then I think we should do it.
Yeah. Yes.
The structure of the song will become clear very quickly.
Yes.
And then, you know, anyone who wants to just take their turn and sing their verse. All right, this is based on a song by my man Mississippi John Hurt, who is like punk as fuck before punk rock existed by decades.
What's punk rock?
I don't know. Nobody knows. We're all part of it somehow, but I don't think any of us know where exactly. Well, it ain't nobody's goddamn business how my baby treats me. Ain't nobody's business but my own. I said it ain't nobody's goddamn business how my baby treats me. Ain't nobody's business but my own. Well, one of these days I'm gonna wake up crazy. I'll grab my gun and kill my baby. It ain't nobody's business but my own. I said one of these days I'm gonna wake up crazy. I'll grab my gun and kill my baby. And it ain't nobody's business but my own. Alright, anyone's turn.
One of these days I'm gonna move out west. I'm gonna move out west and do my best.
It ain't nobody's business but my own. One of these days I'll drink a space back smoothie. When I puke, it'll look like a zombie movie. Business but my own. One of these days I'm gonna put my thumb out. I'm gonna go down the highway and it's nobody's business but my fucking own. Da 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 da. Ain't nobody's business but my own. I said one of these days I'm gonna get a drum lesson, but until then I fucking hope you put up with my mess, because it ain't nobody's business but my own.
One of these days I'm gonna do
will beat all the cops. And when the fun starts, it'll never stop. Nobody's business but my own. Damn, G20, yo. Da 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 da. It ain't nobody's business but my own. One of these days, gonna wake up crazy, grab my gun, kill my baby, and it ain't nobody's business but my own. I said one of these days, gonna wake up crazy, grab my gun, kill my baby, ain't nobody's business but my own. Thank you very much for trying a social experiment with me.
That was wonderful. Awesome.
I'm gonna end with a song that is really long, but I like the poem.
There we go. Oh, yep, fuck around and find out. That's what just happened there. How much of your shit I put up with. Pat's not here to defend himself, so I did it for him. Pat the Bunny is not a liberal. He has never been a liberal. He will likely never be a liberal. Unlike you, Glazy. Pat the Bunny actually did something with his life. He actually lived rather than was a little bitch of the system. Glazy's doing this just to get off. Well, then he can get off. Punish your little pud while I'm chastising you, Glazy, because we all know that's what you're into anyway. For those who don't know, Glazy gets off on being a bit of a masochist and a brat per his fetish test. So, yes. He just needed a little spanking, apparently. He probably didn't rub one out this morning. So, either way, I will not tolerate someone calling Pat the Bunny a fucking lib or his music liberal. So much for the tolerant left. Anyway. Jesus Christ. Alright, there we go. Anyway, how's everybody? We're doing popos tonight. It's a long list. I'm just giving you fair heads up now. Popos is going to be a fucking stretch tonight. I don't have my notepad open. There we go. Aka fucking was all late night streams last week except for Friday. Friday was not. Friday was back to normal schedule. But I mean, do we need to talk about the news of the day? Looks like it wasn't a pump and dump. Looks like he wanted it. Note, an aside, just an aside. How many times have I seen this fiduciary responsibility clause for a board of directors bite the people of this country in the ass now? Where the fuck is Swede? What do we need to do to get rid of fiduciary responsibility for the board of directors in this country? Because that's a few times now in the last year that I've seen some sort of sale have to happen or some sort of purchase have to happen because the board has fiduciary responsibilities, which basically means if they turn down an opportunity to make money, they can be sued by their own fucking stockholders. How broken is this system? Like this is broken. This should not be this way. And I know Sweet has like partially defended in the past, like, well, you can, stockholders can rearrange it and give them different tasks and like different orders. No, that's not enough for me anymore. Because you can't count on a bunch of greed pigs to not go for money. Right? Like you can't count on that. So at this point, it has to be fixed somewhere up the chain. This is ridiculous at this point. Yeah, they're right there. Well, it can be changed by, it can be fixed by changing how the company's set up. No one's going to change that. No one's going to change the structure of fucking Disney Corporation to like be that. Nobody's going to change the structure of Google or Alphabet Corp to do that. Nobody's going to fucking change the structure of Verizon Wireless to do that. Like that's not a thing that's going to happen. That's a non-answer. And I'm not taking this out on you, Cassie. I'm sort of taking it out on Sweet because Sweet has answered that way before as well when I've asked this question, and I'm over it. This shit is broken. This shit is fundamentally broken. Yeah, again, they're not going to do that. They're not ever going to do that at like a significant level. So that's a moot point. Nobody's changing the structure of fucking Wells Fargo to be more socially responsible over money. Like it's just a non-thing. This has to be regulated differently. This has to be changed somehow. This is broken. This is fundamentally broken. And saying that, well, you can change the company structure, that's a non-answer. That's like saying, well, you can recycle 30% of fucking like of all global waste is being contributed by like what, a handful of companies, right? It's a non-answer to say that. Yeah. So like again, the cooperatives they're not the answer. The answer, do these things fucking need broken up and they need fucking taken to the ground and started over? Like I'm fucking over this. This is ridiculous. Fucking the shit you can manipulate a company into doing just because the board will have to opt for the money. Well, they had to buy those 1,000 homes in that downtrodden community because they potentially could make money off of it, and if they didn't do it, their shareholders could sue them. Oh, they had to sell the company because if they didn't, there was $20 a share that they were turning their nose up, and their shareholders could sue them. Right? This is broken. This is broken. Like this is. How is this? I'm over it. Anybody want to see some Soviet era racial identification guide? Like I said, I'm over it. Is Cat here? Oh, God. Oh, Weasel. Somebody fucking posted a picture. Look, representation matters. I get that. But put a pin in that. Some black dude posted a photo, apparently, to his, like, I don't know, twatter or something, with a Band-Aid on his finger. And he said, it took me 54 trips around the sun before I got a Band-Aid that was my actual skin color. Top comment. Thousands of upvotes. Top comment. Homie, I'm wearing a Looney Tunes and a Transformer Band-Aid right now. Y'all be tripping. Anybody ever had a Band-Aid that matched their skin color? There was white people in that fucking thread that were going, Band-Aids are supposed to be skin tone? Like, it's just some weird fucking brown color that doesn't really match anybody. It's like beige, yellow, orange, brown color. Like, it doesn't match anything. Like, and it's like, good on you. Representation matters, but not really in Band-Aids. And by the way, as somebody who covers police stuff on a weekly basis now, homie, They're still murdering your people for like just standing in a fucking parking lot. Congratulations, you got a black skin tone colored Band-Aid. Racism cured? Racism solved? Systemic racism done? We're good? Yay, Band-Aid? It's just... Okay. Sure. Whatever. Contra was, I'm pale enough that most Band-Aids are dark against my skin. Maleficarum, yeah, there was a few people that were saying how they're like of Irish descent, and they're like, dude, I've never had a Band-Aid that was even close to my skin tone. Get a Ninja Turtles Band-Aid like the rest of us. Yeah, it was... Dude, people were like, dude, you can buy fucking, like, SpongeBob. Like, did you know you can buy SpongeBob Band-Aids? Like, what the fuck? The guy posted some sort of win. It's like, dude, they're still murdering your people in the street. Like, with complete impunity. And you're fucking doing a lap for a Band-Aid? 54 trips around the sun before I got a Band-Aid that matched my skin tone. I've never had a Band-Aid that matched my skin tone. I mean... You spent $8 once on a Shakespeare insult Band-Aids? Nice. Yeah, it just... I took one look at that and I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Okay. Anyway, here. This will be fun. This is a Soviet era racial identification guide. I don't really have anything to say in particular. I just found it interesting. Do a tier list. I still have to trim the tier list. Women aren't people. You know that, Zippy. Tartar looks like Lenin. It kind of does, actually. Kazakh's got that Kim Jong-un style. I mean, Kazakhs have some heavy Asian heritage. As a Jew, I can confirm we all look like that. I mean, that's not what it is. Stereotypical, I mean, maybe a Russian Jew. I don't know. That exact face on every one of us. The gypsies hot as fuck. Are all Tartars, Uzbeks, and Turkmens bald? Yeah, apparently. Yes. Yes, all of them. All of them. English only in chat. If you can't abide by that, then you will be removed. It's much like Tolkien dwarves. All Soviet women are indistinguishable from the men. Yeah, I found it interesting. You know, little Soviet era guide. And y'all saw, let me try and get a picture. Hang on. There it is. Jesus Christ. Y'all saw fucking Hawthorne's pics, right? he's a complete and utter douchebag, but the dude knows how to party, it seems like. So, you know, I'd hang at least once. He does. He looks good in it. Yeah, I agree. It's a good look on him. Too bad he's an utter piece of shit. I don't know if he was complaining about the cocaine parties. He was merely just discussing the cocaine parties. Oh, and Russia's an imperialist. Russia's an imperialist, oligarchical, kleptocratic state that is basically not even a legitimate state. It's essentially been delegitimized by a series of crooks, but that's neither here nor there. Personally, if douchebag's still here, was it Captain America 52? I hope Russia doesn't exist in another few years. He ran off already? Aw, pussy. Drive-by troll? Yeah. Like, I was here for the dissolution of the USSR. I'm hoping I'm going to be around for the dissolution of the Russian Federation. It's going to be funny. It'll be funny. Anyway. Fucking, yeah. No, I don't have time for that idiot. Jesus Christ. Russia sucks. Putin stole all your money. You cuck to Putin. Putin put his pee-pee up your bum-bum. Putin fuck you in ass. You too stupid to know. Simple English enough? You, Putin, hey Crimson. Does that carry? Is that international enough? Russophobe. I'm not afraid of Russians. I'm an American. We can bomb you back to the Stone Age. You guys don't frighten me. At all. I'm not afraid of Russians. Oh, but, hi, my name's Kai. I'm gay. I like to suck dick. Yum. Now, run off. Or else you might catch the gay. Speaking of people who are... They can't even beat out Yakuza for Oregon territory. Russians are a bunch of pussies. Let's face it, the only reason that they have the World War II victory is because of Ukrainians. Dude, they threw, what, 18 million Ukrainians at that problem? The only reason Russia had any wins in World War II is because they were throwing massive amounts of Ukrainians out. It's why they're going to get their shit why they are getting their shit pushed in Ukraine, because Ukrainians are better than Russians. Even with all of their fucking problems, even with all of their corruption, even with all of their authoritarianism, they're still better than Russians. At least at fighting they are. At least at doing the manly man stuff they are. Dude, Ukrainians kick the shit out of Russians 10 times out of 10 usually. Unless Russians are busy formulating a new potato famine. No idea. I have no idea where Ukraine is located geographically. None whatsoever. We haven't been showing it on a map regularly for the past, like, 3 months. No, none whatsoever. Not to mention all the other ethnic minority groups that existed in the Soviet Union. Yeah, well, you know. Hey, Radhom. Yeah, Zippy. That way. It's over there. Oh. Did you see the podcast I posted of the interview with Ukrainian? Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I saw it go up. Let's see. Whoopsie. I, on behalf of all of the Ukrainian public, would like to thank the Russian army for donating all of their armored personnel carrier and tanks to the Ukrainian cause.
Вот русский мир горит.
Farmers took out your missile system. Oh, there's more. Hang on. Oh yeah, tractor beats tank when it's being piloted by a fucking Russian.
Молодцы.
Even farms.com, that's the farms.com YouTube channel. Even farms.com is making fun of Russians. Yeah, even farms.com is like, Jesus, goddamn Christ, are these people losers? They can't fucking hang on to a tank even. The Ukraine now has more tanks than when they started with. Yeah, that's how fucking lame Russia is. There are more tanks in Ukraine has more tanks in their possession now than when they started the fucking invasion. That's how fucking pathetic Russian tank commanders are, apparently. Is they can't even hang on to their tanks. And they leave them in perfect working condition. When we leave a tank, we tend to blow it up. When they leave a tank, they're just like, fucking, you know. Let's see. Oh, my stepdad had a talk with me and my sister. He said things are going funny, and when he wanted us to keep a weapon close to us at all times, I may have been able to talk him to buy me a better knife, so today was successful. Oh, good on you. Tractor beats APC. Look it up. It does. Have you seen the video where Ukrainian soldiers shoot prisoners of the armed forces of the Russian Federation? Let me guess. They probably caught them raping children. Seeing as that's typically their MO. Women, raping women, murdering children, that sort of thing. So, you know, shit happens. When the when the Allies liberated the internment camps, the concentration camps the Nazis were running, we also looked away while the Jewish prisoners handled a little bit of business. Zippy, has there been confirmation? No, not that I'm aware of. But it's Russian Federation soldiers. It's conscripts. Don't doubt it. Can you imagine if the U.S. lost an Abrams to a tractor? Yeah, it'd be an issue. It'd be an issue. Yeah, no, they're fucking losers. They're losers. Like, there's no way around that. They're losing. They're losers. Their fucking leader is absolutely riddled with Parkinson's and shit now at this point, too. So, fucking... let's see. Where was that? Yeah, well, either way. Do you think I just click random links right from fucking literal Russian trolls whose accounts are... Oh, actually, I'm surprised. Oh, look, it's not in English. What do we tell you about English only? No is roll. The only Abrams the U.S. ever lost was due to a malfunction in the field. Interesting. Solamente inglés, cabrón. Nah. What time is it in, what time is it in Russia? What time is it in Russia? It's 4:08 a.m. Interesting. SU-34 got shot down too, by the way. Just dropped out of the sky. This is okay, so this is difficult to see. Watch the plane. It's in a flat spin. That plane is not long for this world, shall we say. Yeah. Yeah, and let's see. Cost of SU-34. $36 million. $36 million piece of equipment falling right out of the fucking sky. Yep, war is a fucking racket. And Russia ain't good at it. You gotta have a supply line. What's up, Got? You gotta have a supply line behind that shit. They can't rebuild that SU-34, by the way. You know that, right? Like, they can't replace it. We don't know the life part with her. They could eject. Don't know. Smedley? Smedley, is that you? But we do know it cost $34 million. Yeah. They have no supply line. They cannot replace that fucking plane. This is, if you knock one of our planes out of the sky, we got one to back it up with. I mean, if you knock one of our planes out of the sky, we got 100 to back it up with, right? But yeah, Russia has no supply line to speak of at this point. It's absolutely stupid. It's the dumbest goddamn war I've seen in my lifetime. It's absolutely ridiculous, and there's motherfuckers out here standing this shit like goddamn fucking retards. Fucking yay, Russia, dude! Russia's killing itself. Russia's slamming its fucking head into a goddamn concrete wall. At the same time, they're having a demographical collapse. They're going to lose 1 million fucking people if they're not careful. Between the flight from the country, between the brain drain, and between the conscript loss, and between, dude, what are they up to? 41, 42 high-ranking officials now they've lost to this war as well? Dude, they're just fucking throwing bodies at the wall, and they don't have bodies anymore. This isn't the USSR era. They don't have 18 million Ukrainians they can just throw at this, right? They fucking, dude, they're losing people. And they were already in a demographical slide. The population pyramid is just tapering down. It's ridiculous. 9 generals down. Yep. Putin running this line, Afghanistan, throw wave after wave of soldiers. Well, that was always the Soviet methodology. Fucking, yeah, I think they're up to like 40, 41 like officers or some shit like that. And then, yeah, they've lost a bunch of generals because, I mean, Jesus Christ, how do you lose like the high-ranking generals? How do you lose them? What is wrong with you to like be losing them that close? Oh, the pussy left. He left. Oh. Oh, well. Oh. Not easy. Not easy with her. Oh, I have no idea, Crimson, where they came from, but, you know, we dealt with them appropriately. How the fuck do you ever lose a general? I mean, by being retarded enough to put them on the front line, I guess. So, yeah. The European Central Bank says it's going to be regulating crypto. It says, from their point of view, they are largely scams and Ponzi schemes and shall be regulated as such. Quote, so crypto assets are speculative assets that can cause major damage to society. At present, they derive their value mainly from greed. They rely on the greed of others and the hope that the scheme continues unhindered until this house of cards collapses, leaving people buried under their losses. So the European Central Bank will be regulating crypto moving forward, it looks like. I mean, red wine, I'd try not to be near any of those generals. Well, that sounds like a dumb idea on their part, non-binary. Fuck them. There you go. Link in chat, fire. Yeah, so fuck them. Also, Florida, credit where credit's due. Guy by the name of Chaz Stevens. This may be the only decent thing a person named Chaz has ever done, but guy by the name of Chaz Stevens has filed a complaint with 8 school districts in Florida challenging the Bible's place in school. He cites several examples from the tome to prove that the Bible is too woke to be available to young students. Let's see. It contains prohibited topics that include incest, bestiality, progressive social systems, and discussion of repercussions of slavery. Therefore, and under the Don't Say Gay bill qualifications, the Bible should not be allowed. And the guy's filing on that basis. Yeah, he's complaining against the Bible based on the fact that it is too woke to be discussed. Yeah, again, like Chaz redeeming his namesake. It's the first time I've ever heard of a Chaz doing anything worthwhile. Yeah, progressive social systems. No, I don't know anything for non-binary and fucking Kaiser both. Look, I pay no attention to the Russian regimentation system of their military. I don't pay any attention to our regimentation system of our military. It's not something I ever get around to, nor do I really care to learn about. I don't know the size of a platoon. I don't know the chain of command structure. I don't know functionally the difference between the highest ranking non-commissioned officer and the lowest ranking officer. I don't know any of this, no. Nor do I care to. So don't bother typing. Like, if you're typing right now, just stop. I'm not going to read it. And even if I do see the words, it will just pass by me because I don't care. I don't give a shit. I like the military for their toys. I'll pay attention to, like, hey, did you know they spent $1.5 trillion on a plane that can barely fly? That sort of thing I'll pay attention to. But as far as how they order all of their little fucking slave monkeys, yeah, I don't pay much attention to that. As far as I'm concerned, it's just, you know, sucker in, slave out, kill, kill, kill. That's it. Some of them tell the other ones to kill more. Some of them don't do the killing as much as the other ones who do the killing. If only it was just $1.5 trillion. Well, that's just on one plane. Just on one plane. So, yeah, I don't really care. So Sweden and Finland simultaneously are going to be joining NATO. Two separate newspapers simultaneously reporting that the governments of Sweden and Finland have agreed to submit NATO applications simultaneously. They're working because these are definitely different countries. They're even joining NATO at the same time. Oh my god, the whole fucking region is just fucking... They're even joining NATO simultaneously. They've agreed to join simultaneously, apparently. Hey, nonsense. Kaiser, the hierarchical is reserved in the U.S. military is reserved for spec ops. It's for units that have proven themselves above and beyond sort of situation. They're not the rank and file, generally speaking, are not given the privilege of hierarchical methodology. Yeah, the hierarchical stuff is for missions that can't fail. They're for spec ops missions. And so the ones that are intelligent and well trained and highly organized, those are the ones they trust with that. I guess squarehead is a slur in Sweden. No idea why, really. Just came up recently. Fucking squarehead. All right. Oh, yeah, we should mention that guy. What was his name? Steven something. Oh, Steven something. No, Win Bruce. Sorry, it wasn't Steven. Win Bruce. Win Bruce was the guy, the 50-year-old Buddhist who... from Colorado, who set himself on fire. Self-immolation. What a way to go. He was a Shambhala Buddhist, but he was a climate activist. And on Earth Day, he sat down in front of the steps of the Supreme Court and lit himself on fire in protest. The media didn't say shit about it, by the way. They were very specific. They did not mention this shit. No one fucking... That's the internet was, we were fairly certain because he posted what would be the date of his death with a fire emoji and a link to some climate science links, as well as a Carl Sagan quote about how anything else you're interested in is not going to happen if you can't breathe the air and drink the water. Don't sit this one out. Do something. You are by accident of fate alive at an absolutely critical moment in the history of our planet. So, yeah, he did what Buddhists are known for doing. They what I've Kaiser, it's not based. It's not. That dude burned to death at his own hand, and nobody even mentioned that it was a climate protest. The only thing that was ever uttered in relation to his story was it was unclear whether he was protesting or not. It wasn't based. It wasn't. It was just a waste. Yeah. So. I think that's it, as far as that goes. Russia's a Russian general announced plans to invade Moldova after Ukraine, by the way. So that's apparently on the agenda. No, we're talking about the Buddhists who just recently. This is what my point is. This is my point. This is my point. It's a total waste. Nobody even knows. Nobody even knows. Are they even gonna have an army left to invade Moldova after Ukraine? I mean, you know. Oh, don't worry. We'll get to the kid and the fucking chips on Popos. Oh, I have so many. We need to just start. Let's just start. Let's just start. Move this over here. Jesus Christ, I've got so many fucking tabs. Oh, motherfuckers. All right. Are we ready for Popo's Bizarre Adventures? Because we're going to be doing it for a while. It's going to be going for a minute. We might speed run some of these just to get through them. But holy shit, do we have a lot of stories to cover. So, Moldova isn't a member of NATO, Peaky. They're a member of the Cooperation Council. They're not a member of NATO proper. So. So here we go. Popo's Bizarre Adventures. So let's start on a high note. The Supreme Court officially says that you can sue cops who frame you on false charges. Yeah, it's taken this long to get to this point. I know, it's kind of fucking insane. that were like, wait, what? Yeah, people prior to this decision, police officers could frame people, file bogus charges, conjure evidence out of thin air if you so chose. And in the US, at least, they would be immune from any sort of civil accountability for that malicious prosecution. Until this month. This month, it was Larry Thompson. It was, Thompson v. I don't know who it was v. Either way. Larry Thompson's sister-in-law called 911 after noticing the baby had a rash. Remember we covered this? And fucking this resulted in the decision. It's official at this point. When the charges are dismissed, they have indicated his innocence, and as such, evidence fabricated to support said case can then be used in the civil trial against the police officers. So yes, you can now actually sue cops who manufacture charges against you. I know it's insane that it just now, but bonus.
A Los Angeles.
Of course, you can't. You basically can't get criminal charges filed worth a shit though, because prosecutors are fucking cops too. So you can't get criminal charges. This is just civil charges. Now you can actually file a civil suit against these pieces of shit. Prior to that, you couldn't file civil. You're not getting criminal charges filed against these cops, period. Right? You got to get past a DA. You got to get past the fucking judge. You got to get past a grand jury. You got to get past the fucking jury itself. Hey, Scooty. So the fact of the matter is that you're not getting charges filed, but at least in this case, you know. Yes. Yeah. Same. Yes. It's against, in this instance, it's against the cop. We haven't tested trial. Kavanaugh, in his opinion, indicated the court must start its analysis based on the torts available in 1871 because that was the year Congress passed the law authorizing lawsuits against state and local officers who deprive individuals of their rights. Well, there goes any interest in reading that fucking opinion, Marcus. Kavanaugh was, I do believe Kavanaugh got to write the majority dissent on that one. Fucking A. So Los Angeles, let's start fucking moving around. LA County Sheriff, Alex Villanueva, he is facing accusations that he has been covering up violent jail incidents. The most recent is between a deputy and an inmate, and then lying about, he's been saying that he didn't know about it for months, but of course there's evidence to show that he knew about it as well. But, so at the end of the day, he was concerned that the case was going to make him look bad, so he ordered it buried. But what actually happened was last year, March, LA County Sheriff's deputies were preparing 2 inmates for their court appearance at San Fernando County Courthouse. There's a fight that breaks out. Deputies take down 2 inmates, 4 deputies involved. 16 seconds into the struggle, the deputy who caught a punch in it presses his knee right into the fucking one of the inmates' head and neck. 35 seconds, the inmate's under control and cuffed. Other deputies step away at this point, but the deputy, Johnson, keeps his knee pressed on the inmate's neck for nearly 3 minutes. Internal reports show that minor injuries, because apparently it was luckily like sort of angled side, not fucking right here. But the sheriff's department did no investigation whatsoever and tried to sweep the whole thing under the rug. But because of the manner in which what this is occurring and leading up to the courthouse, the district attorney is required to be notified in these instances to determine if the inmate should face new charges or not. Sheriff's Department didn't do any of that because they knew they fucked up. They knew they fucked up with the fucking use of force, so they just didn't report even their dude catching a fucking punch to the face to the DA. They're like, bury the entire fucking thing. So then it comes to attention to the actual sheriff's office, and he fucking sweeps it under the rug and then pretends he didn't find out about it until months and months and months later. But the sheriff was actually shown the video towards the end of March, but he didn't say or do anything about it until November. There were multiple members of the organization that were there and witnessed the sheriff being shown the video and that he were present. This was apparently viewed in a public place where secondary witnesses could witnessed it as well. So yes, the sheriff like literally just sort of tried to sweep the entire thing under the rug because one of their cops essentially tried to fucking knee neck a fucking inmate to death probably, but it didn't take. And then they knew they were going to get in trouble for it, so everybody just swept it under the rug. Jumping around. We're going to jump around. Georgia. Oh, Georgia. East Point, Georgia. 2 former police officers have been indicted. What have they been indicted on? Oh, well, 4 years ago, they shot an unarmed man. Isn't it amazing the speed at which the justice system moves for people who aren't a part of it? The so-called justice system. They call it justice system because it's just us that it affects. Anyway, yes. So a couple of cops, without, this is the direct quote, without legal justification, shot the innocent man in the back. Did he have a gun? Absolutely not. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the district attorney both can confirm there was never a gun on the scene or ever one in his possession. He now lives the individual now lives in a nursing home as a quadriplegic. And so he has to sit in bed for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. He will never regain mobility or movement below his neck. And his life is absolutely ruined. So the 2 cops fucking shot him. Yeah, that's what it boils down to. We'll see if the grand jury can return a fucking indictment. It's a Georgia grand jury, so, we'll see if that happens. But 2 counts of violation of oath, reckless conduct, aggravated assault, and aggravated battery. That's what they're facing. That's it. They're not, So, no, I don't think it is nearly enough either, got punk. But, charges against cops, what are you going to do, right? So, over the last decade, over 200 cops have been caught directly lying to the Civilian Complaint Review Board. And nothing happened to them. Out of the entire batch of cops that have been caught lying to the New York Civilian Complaint Review Board, 4 have been suspended. That's it. 80 weren't disciplined at all. 43 just lost vacation days. 42 were only subject to instruction. Yeah. So it is basically, let's see if I can get the image here for you. You'll love the chart. And for anybody who wants the actual report, it's from a group called Latino Justice. Here's the actual report. But basically, 4 were suspended, 12 were allowed to resign or pending some sort of action. This is straight up what happens when a cop lies to a review board. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing happens. Yeah. That's just, it's just shielded from accountability. I don't, you know, loss of vacation days, whether that's a punishment, they'll take a couple of your vacation days. It's like being like in school suspension or some shit like that. Some of the cases that where they got caught lying were bad. They were bad. I mean, people got fucked up, people got shot, people really got worked over, right? Like, and they cover it up. They fucking nothing. So, Baltimore. What are you two? Oh, whatever. Jumping over to Baltimore. Fucking a few days ago, last week. We're still on last week's. So basically a Baltimore detective was convicted on federal charges of conspiracy to deprive civil rights. Let's name check him. Former Officer Robert Hankard of Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore PD. Look, Baltimore PD is fucking shit to start with, right? Baltimore PD are the ones that shot the dude for being black while drinking iced tea, right? I'm pretty sure that was Baltimore. Baltimore is infamously bad as far as the police department goes. They're up there with the worst of the worst. They can make their claims right there alongside Chicago and Boston and shit like that, right? So he, Wire's good though. They shot a dude, and then they planted a BB gun on him. Then they falsified an application for a search warrant. Then in the arrest warrant, in a second incident where they then planted drugs on the suspect, he then also falsely testified to a federal grand jury in a federal investigation and then falsified another application for a search warrant and subsequent police report related to the search of an apartment. Like, this is a Russian nesting doll of fuck ups, right? Like, this is the fact that, and just one dude, by the way, one dude, right? Nobody else in the department, no other DA, no other prosecutor, no other CO, no other fucking partner. No one in the department knew, but it was only this guy planting evidence, falsifying reports, falsifying fucking the submissions for search warrants. Nobody knew shit. It was just fucking Robert Hankford, though. They're just tossing this motherfucker under the bus to save the organization, because you know the organization. They're going for this dude for conspiracy, but he's the only conspirator apparently. Right? Doesn't a conspiracy take more than one person? This is just me thinking out loud here. But yeah, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland and Special Agent in charge of the FBI fucking announced the conviction of this one officer. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. I got nothing beyond that. I mean, imagine he planted evidence. He falsely testified to a federal grand jury. He falsified an application for a search warrant. He falsified the arrest report in a second incident where then drugs were planted on the suspect. Then he falsely testified to a federal grand jury in a federal investigation, and then falsified an application for a search warrant and subsequent police report related to the search of the apartment. Right? He's the only one. Sure. Satellite like Abu Ghraib was only done by corporals and sergeants. Exactly. Fucking A. All right. Oh, this guy. Oh, Corey Marino Jr. Mariano, I think. Yeah, that's not what qualified immunity is. Red wine. I'm with Marcus. That's not what that's not qualified immunity. It's not how it works. And by the way, you're speaking to an attorney when you're talking to Marcus. Red wine. Like, Marcus is actually a practicing attorney. So, who defends, does criminal defense, right? Like, yeah. Anyway, Corey Mariano Jr. He's a Florida resident. He's just a upstanding black citizen. Last February, a group of police officers who did not appropriately identify themselves burst into his fucking house at 5 a.m. with a SWAT team, and he fired one shot at the SWAT team member who was lead member. This, of course, prompted them to return fire, but no one was injured by the gunfire. Okay? This is just and the NRA says nothing. The NRA says nothing, as well as the Second Amendment Foundation public, if you're keeping track. During the incident, there was one injury, if you're keeping track. It was his 1-year-old son, Silent, who the police took into custody and put in their patrol vehicle. And when they went to open the door, they didn't look, and Silent was on the door. And so the cop apparently yanks the fucking the squad car door open, yanking Silent out on the door, slamming the 1-year-old into the pavement and severely injuring him when he fell face first onto the pavement. So the only injury that actually came out of this was to his 1-year-old child, who was in the custody of the police. That's the only actual injury that had occurred. But they tried to charge him with attempted murder charges because, black man fired a round at the cops. Never mind the fact that they had insufficient proof for multiple things. But they tried to argue that he had prior knowledge that he was firing at a police officer, and so they had to prove mens rea. They had to prove that he was in fact guilty and knowingly guilty of firing at a police officer. The Pensacola Police Department couldn't clear that hurdle by a mile. So the court determined that all charges should be dismissed and that his record should be cleared. He has since been fired from the Navy Federal Credit Union after his attempted murder of a police officer charge. So the family has announced that they will be suing the Pensacola Police Department and others related in the case. So we'll see where that goes from there. But he got away with the fucking shot. Credit where credit's due. He may be he's one of the only black men I've ever seen who got away with that. There's been a few cases where white dudes have shot. There's one I remember a ways back where he fucking unloaded his AR-15 at him. And he hit a couple. I forget that dude. But he got away with it because they were at the wrong house entirely and they didn't correctly identify themselves. So, yeah. Let's see. So Santa Ana Police Department was the latest one that got caught. Ups or down, up or down. Santa Ana Police Department is the latest one that got caught blaring Disney music in an attempt to curb live streaming or curb upload to YouTube and that sort of thing. They're investigating themselves. The chief of police has stated that my expectation is that all police department employees perform their duties with dignity and respect to the community we are hired to serve, blah, 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 blah. So yes. Toy Story. Apparently music from Toy Story was what the officer Hernandez, was attempting to play while harassing the local community. Yes. So look for that to definitely stop. Here's sort of a multi-parter. There we go. So let's see if I can't find this. This story is kind of weird as shit. It's really weird as shit. There we go. Now, really? There we go. Image address. There we go. Cool. All right. I can't find, for the love of God, what is this woman's first fucking name? Marie. Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. So here's Marie Riley. Back in 2009, thank you, El Bastard de Loco. This is Marie Riley. Back in 2009, she was pulled over by a gentleman by the name of Daniel Wilkie. Here's Daniel Wilkie. Okay. She was pulled over for a traffic stop. He forcibly baptized her. Yeah, he basically, he said, yeah, he basically pulled her from the car, excessive force, assault, intimidation, that sort of thing, unreasonable search, failure to protect, render aid, negligence, battery, assault, intentional infliction of emotional damage. But he baptized her. He also, let's say, inappropriately touched her. Now, here's where things get interesting, shall we say. He has 44 counts against him, including rape, assault, official oppression, He groped her in the crotch after putting her in handcuffs. Yeah. So 44 counts against this motherfucker who tried to forcibly baptize her and rape her. I don't know if he was trying to wash off his sin. I don't know. But here's where it gets weird. The judge had just okayed the lawsuit to progress against good old Wilkie here. Yes, very Christian. The judge had just okayed the lawsuit to progress against her when 7 days later, she was found dead in her home. She's not old. She doesn't have pre-existing health conditions. She was discovered dead at her home on Log Cabin Lane. Her cause of death has not been reported. The autopsy has yet to be performed at the last reporting of this. Yeah. So this motherfucker pulls this woman out of her car and tries to rape her and forcibly baptize her. And when the judge says the court case can go ahead on this piece of shit, she turns up dead a week later. Just saying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She, most assuredly. Most assuredly. I mean, there's a few. There's a few. Armstrong, Iowa. Armstrong, Iowa. I don't know what's going on there, but holy shit, don't go there. A police officer there has been charged with dozens of crimes, quote, joining the former mayor, police chief, and 3 clerks of the small city, all facing criminal charges. Benjamin Shevel was charged this month with 84 felony and misdemeanor offenses, including numerous charges for misconduct in office, unauthorized access to police records, tax evasion, perjury, stalking, theft, assault. The alleged offenses were committed from 2016 to 2020, a period in which Shevel worked for both Armstrong and Esterville police departments. Another Esterville official, Tyler Van Rokel, has been charged with a dozen offenses at the same time, primarily for misconduct in office and unauthorized dissemination of intelligence history data. Officials in Armstrong, a population of 875, didn't respond to messages seeking comment, but the Esterville police chief, Brent Shadow, confirmed in a statement that Shevel worked for Esterville from 2016 to 2019, and then Van Rokel is currently still employed. So the dude who has a dozen offenses, charges against him is still working as a police officer, I guess. Yeah. He's also been charged with evading taxes. Oh, he's going down then. He's going down. He's been charged with evading taxes as well, on wages paid. Another indictment alleges misuse of the stun gun that was issued to him. He's been charged with stalking against 2 women. Protective orders have been issued. Fucking Jesus Christ. He's at least 14 of the additional individuals whose records he accessed appear to be women, including 2 of which he's actively accused of stalking. He's charged with obstruction for allegedly trying between 2019 and 2022 to obstruct the prosecution of Van Rokel, who was in charge in turn with sharing unauthorized information with Shevel. The cases are being prosecuted by the Iowa Attorney General's office, and they, of course, have declined to comment. But yes, the police chief was charged with accepting cash to shoot the former clerk's boyfriend at a party. According to new charges against Shevel, he provided a taser for a potential tasing of the former boyfriend. The former mayor, and the cases remain against the former mayor and the former city clerk. 2 other former city clerks have pleaded guilty but haven't been sentenced, according to online records. Court records and city records show state officials spent years investigating the Armstrong officials, including one 2017 report by then State Auditor Mary Moseman, finding that the city's finances were, quote, so mismanaged that my auditors couldn't tell whether most of the spending was appropriate or legal. So, I mean, I don't even know how to file that one, right? Mayor, city fucking clerks, cops, fucking just the whole lot of them. Stalking and assault and fucking gun for hire and fucking misappropriation and unauthorized access of surveillance, blah, 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 blah. I mean, the one cop alone has 84 felony and misdemeanor charges against him. So just chalk that one up for holy shit and the fucking kitchen sink to boot, right? So, Iowa, let's jump over to Michigan. Michigan, good old-fashioned cop stuff. A child sex sting has caught the Western Michigan University public safety officer and 2 others in their sex sting operation. The public safety officer at Western Michigan University, a guy by the name of Abraham. Are you shitting me? Honky. His name is Honky. His name is Abraham Honky. Good to know, non-binary. Good to know. So he he arranged to meet this gentleman here who was charged. He was given the power to oversee a university campus. He arranged to meet what he thought was a 15-year-old girl for the express purpose of having sex in exchange for money. Oh, good old-fashioned cop shit. Good old-fashioned cop shit. I don't have a picture of it. I wanted a picture of it. Did he have the money? So, who was the judge? Patricia Millett. Patricia Millett and Judge Robert Wilkins were part of a 3-judge panel for the Federal Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. And credit where credit's due, they threw some shit at the FBI. Now, there's no consequence here. All right. This is just if you needed any further evidence that you live in a different world than the rich people, right? Properly rich, right? Here you go. They were hearing a case in which the FBI went out of their way to go enter the house through the back door. When queried by the panel of judges as to why the FBI made such a concerted effort to go through the back door rather than go through the front, was there some sort of strategic gain to be made by this? The representation for the government answered that the suspect lived in an affluent neighborhood and the agents did not want to do anything to interfere with the aesthetics of the community. Let me remind you, the suspect lived in an affluent neighborhood and the FBI agents did not want to do anything to interfere with the aesthetics of the community. Judge Patricia Millett immediately burst out and said, "This is outrageous behavior by the FBI." Judge Robert Wilkins agreed, saying, "I was a public defender here for 10 years. I can't tell you how many of my clients had their front doors bashed in. I don't remember a single time where any agent or police officer was worried about the aesthetics of what their house would look like after." Yeah. So if you were wondering whether you live in the same world or not, you don't. You don't. It's that simple. Oh. Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that at all, Zippy. Hey, Deirdre. Meet Daryl Howard. Mr. Howard had a Durham, North Carolina detective. Yes, they are with her. The links are on the VOD. Mr. Howard was wrongfully convicted of murder and imprisoned for just over 2 decades of his life because a Durham, North Carolina detective fabricated evidence that he was guilty. Now, in the ensuing lawsuit, Mr. Howard was awarded $6 million by a jury. He has proved his innocence. He has gone through every court. Every judge has agreed. Even the governor has agreed. Durham refuses to pay the $6 million. And not only do they refuse to pay the $6 million, in fact, Durham, North Carolina is now demanding Mr. Howard pay the legal fees of the 2 city employees dismissed from the suit. He was convicted on 2 counts, 1 second-degree murder and 1 arson. Both convictions are dismissed. The convictions were vacated, and the charges were officially dismissed, and he was officially pardoned by the governor. In December, the federal jury found the former Durham detective Daryl Dowdy had fabricated the evidence and conducted an incomplete investigation. The jury awarded Howard $6 million in damages. The city has thus far spent $4 million fighting Howard's civil rights lawsuit, which originally included apparently the city and several employees, but the defendants ultimately as defendants, but ultimately just included Dowdy. Now, the city says it won't indemnify Dowdy, who it employed for 36 years. That means it refuses to pay the $6 million the jury awarded Howard. See, the reasoning here is that the city is saying we only pay out if cops and other employees are acting in good faith, not maliciously. And since the officer that framed Howard was found to be acting in good faith, the city is no longer responsible. Figure it out for yourself. Rev, I mean, I would think so. But again, they've already spent $4 million making sure they don't have to pay this. So who the fuck knows? Yeah, Karina, they probably will. Oh, Las Cruces. Oh, Las Cruces. So, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Yeah, 6 million damages is a lot, but you know what? 10 million's even more. And seeing as they've already spent 4 million on top of the 6, they're looking at 10 now. Las Cruces, New Mexico Police Department. Oh, Las Cruces. So, the police confirmed last Monday, that officers had responded to a 911 call. What's up, Radical? They responded to a call regarding a 75-year-old dementia-ridden woman. Family members called and said their 75-year-old relative is living with dementia and experiencing a mental health crisis. And the aunt ended up calling the police so they could try and get an ambulance to try and get her some help. Apparently, she had a kitchen knife. When the officers came, she had knives next to her. She had knives next to her, not in her hand. That she had knives near her. The officer kept yelling to put the knife down. This is according to the family. There were no knives in her hands. The officer kept yelling at a dementia patient who was standing near knives to put the knives down. Can you imagine the confusion that this was causing in this woman? According to eyewitnesses on the scene, the officers remove the family members from the house. The family members insisting that she's mentally ill. Again, eyewitnesses all state the knives were not in her hand. They were next to her. The officer screams, "Put the fucking knife down, put the fucking knife down." They then pushed the cousin and the aunt away, and the officer fires 2 shots at the grandmother. Eyewitnesses on the scene say the officer the woman and the officer were only a few feet apart when the shots were fired. The whole incident lasted no more than a few minutes. Just another example of don't call the cops, right? Like the Denver crew, the Oregon crew, that was Star in Denver, and I forget what the ones in Oregon is called. They would have responded to this without police, without force, and they would have handled it just fine. How do I know they would have handled it just fine? Because the Star group out of Denver has handled all of their cases without ever calling the cops. They've never called for backup from the police. They don't need them. They've handled all of their mad junkie fucking dude on PCP, fucking person in the middle of a mental health crisis, fucking all of it. Cahoots. Thank you, Beast. Cahoots. They handle all that shit. And they do it without ever calling the cops. This is just another example of this is what happens when you call the cops. Don't fucking call the cops. Ever. If you can get away with it. Oklahoma. Hey, where's that moron from the last time we did a Popo's Bizarre Adventures who was like, these are all blue states? Fuck it. We had a bunch of fucking red states this time. Of course, that idiot thought Florida was a blue state too. Either way, Oklahoma. Corrections officer guilty of facilitating white supremacist attacks on black inmates. Jury found a former supervising corrections officer guilty of facilitating opportunities for white supremacist inmates to attack black inmates, according to an announcement by the Justice Department on Friday. He was convicted for violating the rights of two specific prisoners, D'Angelo Wilson and Marcus Miller, by transferring them to an area at Kay County Detention Center where he knew that white supremacists were being detained. Testimony revealed that who's this Matthew Ware? Matthew Ware's the piece of shit. That he ordered his subordinate officers to unlock the cells so that the white supremacists could get into Wilson and Miller. Both Wilson and Miller were injured in this specific attack, needing stitches to face due to cuts and slashes. The jury also found the supervising corrections officer Ware, thanks for the follow, guilty of using excessive force on a third inmate. The DOJ reported that Ware is facing up to 10 years in prison, could be fined $250,000. But either way, he abused his power and authority, and the Civil Rights Division is going to pursue further in Oklahoma. So, yeah. Fucking A. I mean, par for the course. We knew they'd do it. But we have to track them. We have to mention it. Popo's Bizarre Adventures, right? Fucking making it possible for white supremacists to kick the shit out of black inmates in Oklahoma. That's a good look. Add it to the list. Night Cop got punk. So there's a death penalty case in Arizona. Guy by the name of Clarence Dixon. He's essentially going for his last ditch effort for clemency. His attorneys are arguing that the board, which later this month will be considering commuting the sentence, is illegally stacked with former cops. Now, here's the kicker. State law requires that the board have no more than 2 members from any professional discipline. 3 members of the 5-person board worked in law enforcement for decades. The board chair is a former assistant attorney general, and then the other seat is vacant. So it's a 5-person board. They only have 4 members. One of them is a former assistant attorney general, and all the other 3 are all former cops. Okay, straight up illegal per their own specifications in Arizona. But Maricopa County Superior Court judge, a guy by the name of Stephen Hopkins. I'm surprised I don't know him. Stepdad used to operate in that part of the world. On last Tuesday morning, Hopkins struck down the special action suit. You want to know what grounds he struck it down? This is fucking brilliant. Remember, the Arizona State Clemency Board to hear death penalty cases shall have no more than 2 members from any professional discipline. He struck the motion down on the grounds that law enforcement has not been thought of as a profession. That's it. that there shall be no more than 2 members from any professional discipline. Being a cop isn't a profession. I got nothing beyond that. That's literally the end. That's the end right there. Like, the case is going to move forward into clemency hearing. Clemency is going to be denied, and this dude's going to be executed. It's that simple. Apparently in Arizona, being a cop isn't a profession. I don't know what it is then. If being a cop isn't a profession, then I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to be. So, I don't, a calling? What the fuck are we classifying it as then? And I just want to verify something really quickly. Oh, for fuck's sake. What is it? There we go. Is it mass? It's mass. Okay. A form of shooty interpretive dance. It's being a gang member. It's a way of life, man. I mean, they're unprofessional and undisciplined, but I didn't expect him to know that. Fuck. It's a spiritual experience. Let's there we go. Lieutenant Michael Beaupre. Beaupre? I don't fuck. Either way, this douchebag right here. This guy. Okay? Liz, thanks for the follow. He's appearing in Eastern Hampshire District Court in Massachusetts. This individual, this upstanding cop, it looks rapey. Zippy, I mean, you're not far off. You're not far off. Beaupre, if it's written, no, but it's close enough, Rye, that it's probably Beaupre then. You Zippy, your instincts are on spot on. Like, you don't want to be alone with this dude. Let's just put it that way. You don't want to be alone with this dude. He's been charged with unlawful wiretapping because he would break into women's houses, and film them. 11 charges of unlawful wiretapping, 10 charges of photographing an unsuspecting nude person. He was surveilling people in the nude. Like, yeah. Like, he's a creeper. He's a creeper. He just kind of does have that vibe, doesn't he? Time to duck. Yeah. I apparently he approached one of the victims as well and asked if he could film her sexual activities. Like, I don't even, like, according to court documents, quote, investigators observed approximately 60 folders, each with a different woman's name, and those folders contained hundreds of videos. Of the 60 folders, we were able to locate 13 folders with video that were consistent with surreptitious recordings that they could prove. Of those 13, they were then able to positively identify 7 of those women. Multiple devices of recording, bedroom, downstairs, living room, including audio of conversations had in the building. Yeah. Taken over 4 years, by the way. Now, are you ready? Z1. You want to know how? By being a cop. Because get ready for this. This rapey motherfucker right here. He was being held on a $5,000 bail. $5,000 bail. 60 folders with different women's names. Of that, those folders then contain hundreds of videos. This motherfucker had been surreptitiously recording the sexual activities, private lives, conversations in multiple rooms in 60 women's houses over the course of 4 years. And this motherfucker gets held on a $5,000 bail. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's totally fucking. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. That's $1,250 per year. No, you only have to put up 10% of it, Zippy. That's the trick. You only have to put up 10%. So that's, it's only $125 per year, really. As long as he shows up for court, Yeah. He made probably more than that selling the videos. I mean, don't know, but we shall see. Yeah. They can get away with anything. They can get away with anything. Speaking of, he was a pillar of the community. So Tiburon, California, jumping around, jumping coasts. Tiburon, California. It's in Marin County. For those of you that speak Californian and understand, I don't need to explain anything for you. For those that don't know Marin County and Tiburon, California, money, lots of money. Yeah, like lots of money. Proper wealth, not rich, wealth. Okay. So what comes along with wealth? Well, systemic racism is always a nice little cherry on the top of that pie. Two store owners, Yema Khalif and his wife, Hawi Awash. So August 2020, the couple were working late night at their clothing store. It's called Yema. Upscale clothing store in an upscale community, I mean, it's a good move. It's difficult going broke selling overpriced clothing to people who don't know the value of anything, right? Who have just more money than God and don't understand the value of a dollar. So it's difficult going broke doing that. Credit where credit's due. They're working late one night in their clothing store, and the Tiburon Police Department comes up to the front of the fucking store and starts demanding the couple prove that they were the owners. Straight up. Cops walk right up to the fucking shop, see a couple of darkies in this high-end clothing store and start demanding they prove they're the owners when they say they're the owners. The only reason they back down, apparently, is because the white neighbor on the commercial area, right? The white neighbor comes out and starts yelling at them and saying, you're fucking idiots. They own the store. So when the white person came out and testified on their behalf, the cops fucked off. The police chief and the police officer involved were both forced to resign because the community didn't want the bad press, right? Well, the town just paid the couple $150,000. The check just cleared. Yeah, they did. They used the Karen power. A white person just comes out like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get the fuck out of here. They own the store. Yeah, it cost the town $150,000 for that little hassle. I mean, it's a decent paycheck. It's a decent paycheck. Nobody had to take a beating. Nobody got fucking cuffed. Nobody got drugged through the street. Nobody got, and yeah, it's Tiburon, for fuck's sake. Like, they got more money than God in that town. So, right? That's just $150,000. Like, I don't know if they've got a kid or not. There's a college fund right there. There's a retirement fund. There's something, right? It's $150K for being temporarily hassled by some fucking racist cops. Like, I mean, it's not a bad payday. That's how you know law enforcement isn't a profession. They don't know what work looks like. Oh yeah, there's footage of it. Yeah, A3. Yeah, there's footage of it. I mean, public. It's I mean, I'd like to see him get more too, but at the end of the day, it's not bad. Is this the old dude? This is the old dude, right? Please tell me this is the old dude. I love this story. Yes. So, Ohio, Westchester. Good old Ohio. Westchester County, Westchester Township, I should say, not county, Westchester Township. And mayor, is it mayor or Meijer? Meijer. It's a regional shop, grocery store. I don't know. I think Meijer. I think it's Meijer. Either way. 2 Westchester police officers and the grocery store are named in it's mayor. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was something to it. Okay. It's been a minute since I've been in that part. Okay, I'm seeing mayor and Meyer. Regional differences. Go fuck yourselves. Either way, 2 police officers and the grocery store are being named in a lawsuit by a Butler County man. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. You get the actual description. Okay, so the grocery store calls the cops and says, we have a shoplifting incident to report. It is a white man in his 30s wearing a green or gray Carhartt coat with a red hoodie underneath. Okay? No, Westchester, Ohio, Township, Durham. White man, 30s, green or gray Carhartt coat with a red hoodie underneath. Cops rock up. Who do they arrest? A 60-year-old black man wearing an orange puffy coat with a tan and brown scarf. We got a white man in the 30s wearing a green or gray Carhartt coat with a red hoodie underneath. There's a 60-year-old black man with an orange puffy coat and a tan and brown scarf. That's who they arrest. They fucking detain this motherfucker as soon as they see. He said, according to witnesses and the dude they arrested, he was the only black man in the store. He was the only black man in the store. 100%. They've got a description. White man in his 30s, green or gray Carhartt coat with a red hoodie underneath. White man in his 30s. These cops roll up and attempt to arrest the only black man in the store. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I love this story. This story is just classic cop. Like, how do you defend this? Where are the bootlickers for this case? I can't. Are you ready? Because you're like, how could it possibly get worse, Kai? How could it possibly get worse? Well, they didn't beat the dude to death, so it's not going in that direction. Another cop already had the shoplifting suspect in custody and had already called it in. They'd already arrested the shoplifter. They had the guy. Another cop had already arrested him. Yeah, another cop had already detained the guy. Yeah. So, not only are they supposed to be looking for a white dude in his 30s with a gray or green Carhartt jacket with a red hoodie underneath, they're not supposed to be looking for him at all because a cop had already detained him and fucking said over the radio, "I've got our guy." So these two cops just went in to this grocery store and just started grabbing the first black person they could find. Oh. And of course, the city's not going to comment because the city doesn't comment on pending litigation. Nobody's fucking saying a word. That story is just astounding. Oh. Let's show these guys. Say hello to some current and former Met officers. Now, the Santa Ana Police Department has a unit. Oh, I should, there we go. I should get that. They have a unit. They do all look the same, don't they? They have a specialty unit. It's called the Major Enforcement Team, which operates much like a SWAT team, but some fun differences. Here's one. They all have gang tattoos. So not at all like a fucking gang tattoo at all, right? Apparently the number 040 is a reference to the Met's police radio code. And historically, of course, the ace of spades being used as a token of death. It's been used that way since Vietnam, at least by American soldiers. So, yeah. Either way. And then the token is adorned on one with an ace of spades decorated with a skull and a number 31, which is a reference to Santa Ana Police Department's Orange County radio reference number. And then they give out bottle opener tokens to their gangbanger members here. That says odorant dum metuant. Sorry, my Latin pronunciation is shit, but translated out, their tokens mean let them hate so long as they fear. So, why are we talking about the Santa Ana Police Department's Major Enforcement Team? Because they like to grope teenage girls. And by teenage girls, I don't mean, a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old or, really anybody who's legal. They like to go around to various restaurants and harass people and operate very much like a gang. I thought they looked rapey too. Oh, super rapey. They like to verbally harass teenage girls. They like to grope them. Yeah. Here's a fun incident from 2021. Santa Ana City Council member Jonathan Hernandez reports he himself has seen an off-duty Met officer and another man holding a struggling woman down in a parking lot in downtown Santa Ana, groping her breast while telling her, chill, 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 shut up, according to police reports. Other witnesses have said they've seen off-duty Met officers holding his wife back from an intoxicated woman who was trying to fight her outside a restaurant. Various Santa Ana police officers have been sending harassing emails to city council members. Founding member of the Met unit has targeted a previous mayor. Fucking, just across the board. Oh, and also they refuse to release reports on any incident in response to the Public Records Act. That's just straight up. They're just like, no. In regards to your questions, the Public Records Act does not require the city or department to respond to questions. However, I can assist you in locating a record that is not exempt. Please feel free to contact me. Oh yes. That's just Santa Ana's one of the SWAT teams in Santa Ana, Cat, who are raping teenage girls and shit. Yeah, even city council members have seen him like holding down women in parking lots late at night, telling them to like chill, shut up, calm down, shut up. Yeah. So even city council members have seen these douchebags like trying to rape women just randomly out in the street. That's one of their that's their major enforcement team in Santa Ana. They have a gangbanger tattoo that's got the skull and the ace of spades on it and their call sign. And, they give out tokens when you officially join that says let them hate so long as they fear. Shit like that. Totally not gangbanger behavior. Let's not forget that Santa Ana is right next to Disneyland. Look like someone's gonna have a good molestation-free day. Soon put a stop to that. So Melissa Lucio looks like she might get a reprieve. Might get a reprieve. So she is the mother. She's the Mexican-American mother in Texas who is due to be put to death by, in, of course, by the state of Texas, even though it looks like she's probably innocent. She has a coerced confession. Experts have already said, like, she's got basically the definition of a coerced confession. They leaned on her for, 1,000 hours, basically. I forget how many dozen hours after 5-hour interrogation into the night. They brought her in late at night and then they just leaned on her for the rest of the night. Her 14 children corroborated her version of events. Fucking various neighbors and people. They got a coerced confession out of this woman because her child fell and sustained internal brain injuries, for which they later died. And so this woman has been on death row and she was scheduled for execution, but I have the update as of today, 3 p.m. Eastern. So 12 hour time. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals has halted the execution because of, what amounts to significant doubts about her guilt, and kicked her case back to a lower court, which is going to retry and attempt to determine if she is innocent and whether prosecutors kept evidence from the jury and her defense attorneys. So, I was planning on reporting on that she was probably dead. They're going to execute her. But in fact, looks like probably she might get a shot. Yeah, in Texas, it's a minor goddamn miracle. I wouldn't even say it's a minor miracle. I'd say it's just an outright miracle. So Atlanta police officers multiple police officers have come forward with evidence to show that, and they've been giving these to the media, that there's an incentive system that encourages police officers to write more tickets, that they are being literally rewarded. They're being rewarded points and then awards based on those point systems, based on their policing actions. So yeah, this is incentivized policing. This is what this technically is referred to as. So if you like, one of the examples in here is if you write a traffic ticket, that gets you Atlanta Police Department officers 1.5 points, but a felony or a juvenile arrest is worth 5 points. Meanwhile, calls for service like 911 calls, those are only worth 0.25 points. So a quarter of a point. So you are literally incentivized to arrest kids under this system and not respond to any actual distress calls. I do want to see their response. They're not even defending it. Holy shit. They're not even like trying to deny it. Sorry. They're not even trying to deny it. Good luck. They're going to be in court over that one. Jesus goddamn Christ. They're not even trying to deny it. They're just like, yeah, we do it and it's effective. Jesus. Patrick, Leoya. I think it's Leoya. Patrick Leoya. Either way, Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's the dude that got fatally shot in the back of the head by the Grand Rapids cop. Fucking basically traffic stop. Guy runs. Supposedly a struggle over a taser. None of that got caught on camera because the officer's body camera stops recording. Funny how that works. But we have the video. It is to quote I here, it is kind of fucked. I know that wasn't in reference to that, but yeah, that's the video basically gets deactivated shortly after the cop yells, "Let go of the taser." But we do have video from across the street of the officer fucking, I mean, there's no way around it. He shot the dude in the back of the head while he was on the ground. So, like, I don't know how. I don't know how I don't know how the fucking bootlickers would defend it. He had it coming. If he fucking something taser, he could have taken the cop's life or something. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, he tackled the dude, wrestled with him, and then put a bullet in the back of his fucking skull. So we'll see what happens with that one. Is this the guy? Yeah. probably had a drug charge 8 years ago. I know, right? So our friend here, what's up, Dig? Our friend here, Blake Travis Shimanek, he's a former Keller officer. Let's see. Hang on. I just want to make sure. There. It's Texas, right? It's Texas. I just want to double check. Yeah, it's Keller, Texas. Just wanted to double check. So our friend here, Blake Travis Shimanek, a former officer for Keller, Texas, of course. He was demoted to sergeant following an internal investigation and then was allowed to resign from the force this February. But so he approaches a car, but driven by a person by the name of Dylan Puente. He pulled Dylan over for making a wide right turn. He starts yelling at Dylan to roll his window all the way down. Puente gets out of the vehicle and begins to comply with officers' commands as Shimanek then starts screaming at him asking him why he was acting suspicious. One of my favorite fucking tactics by police officers, by the way. Let me point a gun in your face. Let me pull you over, get your cortisol and adrenal response going. Let me point a gun in your fucking face and then scream at you, why are you acting suspicious? It's a tactic. It's a tactic. It's not something they do accidentally. They do that on purpose, so you know. Shimanek, of course, has not been able to be reached for comment on these fucking cases. But either way, Marco Puente, Dylan's father, happens to be driving by at the time. He pulls up, and Dylan explains what's been happening. Shimanek then yells at Marco, the father, to park his vehicle or he'll be arrested for blocking the road. When the elder Puente returned to the scene on foot after parking his vehicle legally, he then proceeds to stand on the sidewalk across the street with his cell phone out, recording the traffic stop. A second officer, Ankit Tomer, then arrives, and Shimanek tells him to go watch Marco Puente, the elder man. He says, go watch him. Better yet, arrest him. Marco, of course, expresses his bewilderment at this situation. Shimanek walks across the street, and both officers then wrestle him to the ground. They handcuff him, and then they just pepper spray him repeatedly. Quote, I'm not even doing anything. Dude, what the heck, man? What is this about? Mr. Puente then didn't receive any further help for 15 minutes later, after he had been taken to jail. His attorney stated he was begging for help the entire time. Marco also was injured when one of the officers forcefully yanked off his sunglasses during the arrest, tearing his nostril and leaving an actual laceration and resulting scar from it. Interesting thing to note, no charges have been filed against the Puentes. The child and the elder Puentes, Dylan and Marco, respectively, charges were all dropped. It's funny how that works. So apparently the charges for the traffic stop amounted to nothing, and apparently the charges for interference amounted to nothing. So why were they harassed and beaten? Don't know. But the Puentes received recently, a $200,000 settlement with this city. And Shimanek is facing a year in jail and a fine of $4,000 for illegally arresting this man, assaulting this man, and harassing his child. That's what the cop gets, is up to a year in jail and a fine up to $4,000 for official oppression. By the way, that's the actual charge, is official oppression. Official oppression. At most, you might get a year. He won't. He'll get probation. Oh, we'll hold off on that one last. Dig. So the state of Louisiana covering up for their cops actively. The state of Louisiana, House Bill 729, making its way through in Louisiana. It would ban the release of mugshots of residents who have been arrested but not convicted of a crime. But fun thing to note here is the bill exempts police mugshots, basically. So yeah, oh yeah, they get special treatment. Oh yeah, they get special treatment. 100% they get special treatment. That's not a McMansion. Those are two separate houses. Jesus Christ, people. It's just a typical fucking neighborhood. Look, these are two separate houses here. These are two garages. This is a garage over here. This is space between the house. This is space between the house. Yeah, they get special privileges as well on top of that. Yeah, it's just a nice suburban neighborhood. That's all. So let's just stay in Louisiana for a second. Louisiana State Police lieutenant charged in a hit and run investigation. Not only did he fucking do a hit and run, two reported hit and run crashes in separate parishes last year. Charges of malfeasance in office and injuring public records. Okay, did anybody catch that? Charges of malfeasance in office and injuring public records. Not, the intentional fail to stop at the scene of the initial crash and then falsely reporting damage to his vehicle during the second hit and run. Okay? He committed 2 hit and runs, covered it up, and his charges are malfeasance in office and one count each of malfeasance in office for both St. Tammany and the Orleans parishes, and then 1 count of injuring public records in the Orleans parish. 2 days back to back. Yes. He's been placed on paid vacation, of course, as is tradition. To be fair, there were unbeaten women that needed tending to. He couldn't exactly wait around. I don't even know what to fucking. This dude got into 2 back-to-back hit and runs, covered it up, and the only charges they hit him with are fucking official malfeasance and injuring the public record because he lied about his fucking reports. Hey, Brooke. So here's the one that everybody saw, I think. I think everybody saw this. Bearer, thanks for the follow.
What is y'all doing? What is y'all doing?
Guess. Take a guess what I'm doing.
Hey, you're like a baby to me. Why you?
Guess what I'm doing.
I don't know what you doing. I just see you snatch him up off the.
No.
So what? So what's going on then?
He's stealing stuff. If he breaks into your house to steal something.
Nah, man. What he selling, a bag of chips? So y'all treat me like a whole cold-blooded fucking killer?
Keep walking, dude. You don't even know what you're
Keep
talking
walking.
about.
I know what I just came up and see. I know the fuck I just came up and see.
Okay, what did you see?
I see y'all snatching him up a bike like he a fucking grown-ass man. Ain't he saying it wasn't him? What is y'all doing?
Crazy. How old is he? 10 years
What is y'all talking about, man?
That's against the law.
What is y'all
10 years
doing?
old, you cannot put that.
What is y'all doing? Take the fucking chips. If he stole some chips, I'll pay for them. I'll pay for them. You don't even know where he lives. Y'all just throwing him in the fucking car.
That's what they do. They come here.
What is y'all doing?
Bro,
Leave him alone.
no camera. That's all we can do.
He a kid. What is y'all doing?
Super useful to the community. You know, when they're not busy shooting random black people, you know, they're causing lifelong trauma for children or sneaking into women's buildings, houses, apartments, and recording them surreptitiously, or raping children, or, you know, some of the just litany of things we've covered tonight alone. So, you know, the one of the many services, one of the many important services that police provide to the communities that they so rightfully serve and protect. They can claim whatever they want to claim. Scared straight doesn't work, and we know it. So they can claim whatever the fuck they want to claim. At the end of the day, all I see is child abuse. Child abuse by an organized gang who walk around our streets with impunity, armed to the teeth, who are free to summarily execute people on a whim. So they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. I already see them for what they are. And speaking of, let's see if there's... Ah, yes, there it is. Remember last year during the BLM protests in Philadelphia, there was a young woman who tried to drive down a street that she normally would drive down. And in the process of that, she had her 2-year-old son and was picking up her 16-year-old nephew in West Philadelphia. She was trying to get out of the area of the protests. She took her usual route home from West Philly, and that's when she encountered the protesters and police officers at the intersection of 52nd and Chestnut. Officers ordered her to back up and make a U-turn. She began to make the turn when several officers then ran towards her SUV, hitting, rocking it, breaking window, and attempting to pull the door open. This is when the fucking Officer Cardos started breaking the windows with his metal battalion. He then pulled the young woman out of her vehicle by her hair. This is according to the Internal Investigations Unit and the District Attorney's Office for Special Investigations. She was then hit by fists, batons, and a number of unknown objects. She was also sprayed with mace. She had swelling on her face, body, a swollen trachea, and internal bleeding. Now, this is what people may remember, is when the Fraternal Order for the police union, then took a picture that was being circulated of one of these shit human beings who have a special future waiting for them if there is any justice in this world. They took one of the photos of one of the children being stolen from this woman after she was wrongfully beaten in the street by the police department. And they published it on social media, saying that the child was lost during the violent riots in Philadelphia, wandering around barefoot in an area that was experiencing complete lawlessness. The only thing this Philadelphia police officer cared about in this moment was protecting this child. We are not your enemy. We are the thin blue line, and we are the only thing standing between order and anarchy. They attacked that woman's vehicle. They assaulted her violently. They stole her child from her and then used that child in a bullshit propaganda campaign against the people. Well, the cop who assaulted her, at least, he's been charged officially with assault. The officer has been fired and is now facing charges of assault as well. There's 2 officers actually that have been fired in relation to the incident. Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering what the young woman does, her name is Rikia Young. If you're wondering what she does, she's a home health care aide. She takes care of people actually, like for real. In her real life, she actually provides a community service that's necessary. So in her encounter with the police, what did they do? They beat the ever-loving fuck out of her, stole her kids from her, and fucking then used one of them in a propaganda campaign against the people. But we need the cops, everyone. They provide a valuable service to the community. And let's wrap up on Chicago police detective Reynaldo Guevara, who's accused of framing 51 people for murder. At least 51. The number starts at 51. It may be a lot higher than that. We don't actually know. Yeah. Mothers, aunts, sisters, no one will take up the case, by the way. Not the state attorney general's office, not the mayor's office. No one wants to wanted to take up the cause. So the victims themselves took up the cause. If you want, BuzzFeed News has an excellent fucking timeline and breakdown on this. It is a mile fucking long, but the long and short of it is that Chicago got fucking caught again having an insanely corrupt police department, an insanely corrupt district attorney's office, an insanely corrupt mayor's office, up to and including a single officer who is responsible for at least 51 framings of murder. Yeah, just at least 51. This douchebag's name is Reynaldo Guevara, but I mean the fact of the matter is that a lot of people need name checked. A lot of people need name checked. But here's the absolute hero himself framing 51 innocent people for fucking murder that we know of. Oh God, like dude, can we clean up that link? That link is atrocious, man. There. That's the link. I have removed Marcus's godforsaken tracking link. I'm largely convinced that an uncorrupt police department does not exist. Yes, 100%. So, I mean, this is the law here. I mean, if you want to see how this is very well done, this is very well done here. This is just it's long. Okay, no one wants a piece of this. Okay, it's a long case to read, but the long and short of it is that like 22 years on, yeah. So we sort of speed ran some of them, but Popo's bizarre adventures, everyone. Only about an hour and 40 minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad. About an hour and 40 minutes on that one. Oh. There we go. So I do have something planned for tomorrow night. I have no, it wasn't 4 hours. It was like 240, something like that. Tomorrow night for tomorrow's night stream, I have Trolley Problem Incorporated planned. Functionally, Trolley Problem Incorporated is nothing more than a battle between deontology and utilitarianism. So it'll make for an interesting investigation. I mean, it doesn't go any further into utilitarian investigation or deontological investigation than, baseline deontology versus utilitarianism. It's not like it goes into like rule or act utilitarianism or anything like that. But it should be fun. I've already got it integrated into Twitch, so you guys can vote. You won't choose the winning vote. I've got it set so that the streamer picks, but you guys can participate and vote on it as well, and we can see how that plays out. But we'll do anarchists solve the trolley problem tomorrow. From what I understand, the game does poke fun at whatever choice you make. Like, it's darkly humored, so it doesn't matter what you choose. It's going to criticize your choice, plain and simple, every time. Interesting. Save that. So, yeah, it should be an interesting one. We'll see. Every problem has a reference to some reading to do. And all right. Yeah, all right. Wasn't sure. Shoulder there. Okay. But yeah, that's what's planned for tomorrow night. Like I said, I got some video editing to do. I got a bunch of video editing to do from like all of last week. I got a bunch of shit to do. I may just call this fucking stream, really. Like, I don't really have, I plan on doing popos tonight. Oh, fuck. You know what we need to do? God damn it. All right. Give me one sec. Let me look. Okay. We'll do this. We can do this tonight. Goddamn lawyer writing though. Goddamn lawyer writing. All right, hold on. Given the crawler promise, dark humor, Kai, can I ask your opinion on John Mearsheimer? I mean, I don't fucking, God, isn't he the one that called NATO the Night Watchman? I think he's the one that said NATO's the Night Watchman. I don't have any like huge opinions on him one way or the other. Yeah. I don't know enough about him. I haven't read enough of him to be able to render an opinion. I'm pretty sure, though, he's the one that's called NATO the Night Watchman. Basically saying that, like, democracies live in peace because of America's hegemonic position in NATO. Pretty sure that's him. I'm pretty sure that's him. So go from there. I have no opinion. I can't tell you good, bad, or indifferent, but yeah, he's like, I'm pretty sure he's the one that said it's because of America's hegemony that we have like some sense of global peace. So take it from there. All right. We're going to do chapter 1 of What is Property. We're not going to do... Yeah, we're not going to do any further than that because then he starts getting into fucking subsections and shit because Proudhon writes like an attorney, which despite what Marcus is about to type in chat is the absolute worst way to write. It's just god awful. So fucking subsections and shit like that. Like, you know, when you start using like the subsection symbol in your actual writing, subsection to occupation, fucking, he writes like an attorney. Night Weasel. I was mid-complaint. At least give me a chance to be indignant. Fucking attorneys. You all write in a very odd manner. All right. So. Okay. We're not doing the whole thing. We're not doing property as theft. Property as theft is like the anthology, right? That's the full, you know, Proudhonian anthology. We're doing what is property. Okay, so a lot shorter. It's the difference between this entirety of this book and the difference between these two tabs. Okay, so all right. Property, fucking What is Property by Pierre-Joseph Proudhon. Yeah. What is property? Or an inquiry into the principle of right and of government. Chapter 1. Method pursued in this work, the idea of a revolution. If I were asked to answer the following question, what is slavery? And I should answer in one word, it is murder. My meaning would be understood at once. No extended argument would be required to show that the power to take from a man his thought, his will, his personality, is a power of life and death, and that to enslave a man is to kill him. Why then, to this other question, what is property, may I not likewise answer? It is theft. Without the certainty of being misunderstood, the second proposition being no other than a transformation of the first. I undertake to discuss the vital principle of our government and our institutions, property. I am in my right. I may be mistaken in the conclusion which shall result from my investigations. I am in my right. I think best to place that last thought of my book first. Still, I am in my right. Such an author teaches that property is a civil right, born of occupation and sanctioned by law. Another maintains that it is a natural right, originating in labor. And both of these doctrines, totally opposed as they may seem, are encouraged and applauded. I contend that neither labor, nor occupation, nor law can create property, that it is an effect without a cause. Am I censurable? But murmurs begin to arise. Property is theft. That is the war cry of 93. That is the signal of revolutions. Reader, calm yourself. I am no agent of discord, no firebrand of sedition. I anticipate history by only a few days. I disclose a truth whose development we may try in vain to arrest. I write the preamble of our future Constitution. This proposition, which seems blasphemous to you, property is theft, would, if our prejudice allowed us to consider it, be recognized as the lightning rod to shield us from the coming thunderbolts. But too many interests stand in the way. Alas, philosophy will not change the course of events. Destiny will fulfill itself regardless of prophecy. Besides, must not justice be done and our education be finished? We must ascertain whether the ideas of despotism, civil inequality, and property are in harmony with the primitive notion of justice, and necessarily follow from it. Assuming various forms according to the condition, position, and relation of persons, or whether they are not rather the illegitimate result of a confusion of different things, a fatal association of ideas. And since justice deals especially with the questions of government, the condition of persons, and the possession of things, we must ascertain under what conditions, judging by universal opinion and the progress of the human mind, government is just, the condition of citizens is just, and the possession of things is just. Then, striking out everything which fails to meet those conditions, the result will at once tell us what legitimate government is, what the legitimate condition of citizens is, and what the legitimate possession of things is, and finally, as the last result of the analysis, what justice is. Is the authority of man over man just? Everybody answers no. No, the authority of man is only the authority of law, which ought to be justice and truth. The private will counts for nothing in government. The private will counts for nothing in government, which consists first in discovering truth and justice in order to make the law, and second in superintending the execution of this law. I do not now inquire whether our constitutional form of government satisfies these conditions, whether, for example, the will of the ministry never influences the declaration and interpretation of the law, or whether our deputies in their debates are more intent on conquering by argument than by force of numbers. It is enough for me that my definition of a good government is allowed to be correct. This idea is exact. Yet we see that nothing seems more just to the Oriental nations than the despotism of their sovereigns, that with the ancients and in the opinions of the philosophers themselves, slavery was just, that in the Middle Ages, the nobles, the priests, and the bishops felt justified in holding slaves, that Louis XIV thought that he was right when he said, "The state, I am the state," and that Napoleon deemed it a crime for the state to oppose his will. The idea of justice, then, applied to sovereignty and government, has not always been what it is today, It has gone on developing and shaping itself by degrees until it has arrived at its present state. But has it reached its last phase? I think not. Only as the last obstacle has to be overcome arises from the institution of property, which we have kept intact. In order to finish the reform in government and consummate the revolution, this very institution we must attack. Is political and civil inequality just? Some say yes, others no. To the first, I would reply that when the people abolished all privilege of birth and caste, they did it, in all probability because it was for their advantage. Why then do they favor the privileges of fortune more than those of rank and race? Because, say they, political inequality is a result of property, and without property, society is impossible. Thus, the question just raised becomes a question of property. To the second, I content myself with this remark. If you wish to enjoy political equality, abolish property. Otherwise, why do you complain? Is property just? Everybody answers without hesitation. Yes, property is just. I say everybody, for up to the present time, no one who thoroughly understood the meaning of his words has answered no. For it is no easy thing to reply understandingly to such a question. Only time and experience can furnish an answer. Now, this answer is given. It is for us to understand it. I undertake to prove it. We are to proceed with the demonstration in the following order. 1. We dispute not at all. We refute nobody. We deny nothing. We accept as sound all the arguments alleged in favor of property and confine ourselves to a search for its principle, in order that we may then ascertain whether this principle is faithfully expressed by property. In fact, property being defensible on no ground save that of justice, the idea, or at least the intention of justice, must of necessity underlie all of the arguments that have been made in defense of property. And, as on the other hand, the right of property is only exercised over those things which can be appreciated by the senses, justice, secretly objectifying itself, so to speak, must take the shape of an algebraic formula. By this method of investigation, we soon see that every argument which has been invented on behalf of property, whatever it may be, always and of necessity leads to equality, that is, to the negation of property. The first part covers 2 chapters, one treating of occupation, the foundation of our right, the other of labor and talent, considered as causes of property and social inequality. The first of these chapters will prove that the right of occupation obstructs property. The second, that the right of labor destroys it. 2. Property then being of necessity, conceived as existing only in connection with equality, it remains to find out why, in spite of this necessity of logic, equality does not exist. This new investigation also covers 2 chapters. In the first, considering the fact of property in itself, we inquire whether this fact is real, whether it exists, whether it is possible, for it would imply a contradiction. Were these 2 opposite forms of society, equality and inequality, both possible? Then we discover, singularly enough, that property may indeed manifest itself accidentally, but that as an institution and principle, it is mathematically impossible. So that the axiom of the school, ab actua ad posse valet conceptuo, from the actual to the possible, the inference is good, is given the lie as far as property is concerned. Finally, in the last chapter, calling psychology to our aid and probing man's nature to the bottom, we shall disclose the principle of justice, its formula and character. We shall state that with precision the organic law of society. We shall explain the origin of property, the cause of its establishment, its long life, and its approaching death. We shall definitively establish its identity with theft, and after having shown that these 3 prejudices, the sovereignty of man, the inequality of condition, and property, are one and the same, that they may be taken for each other and are reciprocally convertible. We shall have no trouble in interfering therefrom, or inferring therefrom. By the principle of contradiction, the basis of government and right. There our investigations will end, reserving the right to continue them in future works. Chapter 1. I told you he writes like a fucking attorney. I warned you. I warned you. He writes like a fucking attorney. The chapters get very much larger after that. But that is what it is. I'll tell you right now, all non-English gets automatically deleted. So, English only, please and thank you. Oh, hey, Brooke, I just saw you on coffee. Thank you. Anyway, so there's the first chapter in Property as Theft. Oh, zippy. Oh, let's see. Did I? I did. I refreshed that. Good, good. I don't have anybody that I want to. That one. What do I got? What do I got? Fuck it. Yeah. Yep, that's what we're doing. Cool. Make that 2 in a row, I guess. You assume nothing until you have read the works of Proudhon. I don't fucking rate into Riverboat Jack for shit. Why would I rate into somebody with 150 fucking viewers? The fuck? I wouldn't rate into Riverboat Jack, period, probably. Fucking, I don't fucking know them for shit. You guys can wait until chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or you can go ahead and skip ahead and read. Yeah, I don't rate into people just because they're trans. That's just, I don't factor that in non-binary. I don't give a shit if you're trans or not. It's not, you don't get extra points for being trans. You don't get any points removed. You just are trans. It's not communism. Proudhon isn't. It's okay. It's okay. I'm rating out. I don't care. I don't have time to fix these misconceptions. So we're gonna raid over to fucking Squiddy and go from there. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's night stream.